It's a celebration of the New York Giants' 100th anniversary coming up in 2024. And why not talk about one of the greatest athletes that ever donned the New York Giants uniform? We have the story of Tuffy Leemans coming up in just a moment.
This is the Pigskin Daily History Dispatch, a podcast that covers the anniversaries of American football events throughout history. Your host, Darren Hayes, is podcasting from America's North Shore to bring you the memories of the gridiron, one day at a time.
Hello, my football friends. This is Darren Hayes of PigskinDispatch.com. Welcome once again to the Pig Pen, your portal to positive football history, and welcome to another edition of the New York Giants 100 series, where we get to talk about not only a great New York Giants legend, but one of the great legends of NFL history and football history, for that matter, in Tuffy Leemans. And we're going to talk about him in just a second. But if you like what you're hearing and you listen to the show often, why not subscribe? Hit the little subscribe button down below, and you'll be notified every time that something's going on. Hit the notification bell as well. You'll know just when we drop another episode, and we do it quite often, talking about football history, because we're your portal to positive football history. So thank you for that. Now, our subject player in this edition is a Pro Football Hall of Fame multifaceted talent of the New York Giants. Born Alphonse Emil Leemans on November 12, 1912, and by his admission, he would have accepted any nickname to be recognized on the gridiron. The handle came about when Leemans was a kid, as he often played tackle football on the sandlots of his Wisconsin home with older, bigger kids, and he was not afraid of the rigors of the more prominent and stronger players. So you had to be tough to play with him as a little guy. Thus, Tuffy was an apt description and an adequate name for a football player, as indicated by the style Mr. Leemans leaned towards. The moniker was out of necessity to extend his college career into the pro ranks because, like he said, who's going to remember a guy named Alphonse to play tackle football in college football and even pro football? Well, Leemans' journey to football stardom began in his hometown high school of Superior, Wisconsin, and then he ventured his way west to play freshman ball in Oregon before deciding to compete in a collegiate career at George Washington University. His time with the George Washington Colonials showcased his versatility as he amassed 2,382 yards and threw for 966 yards and returned 84 punts for just under 1,000 yards, 984 to be exact, for a total of 3,142 total NFL yards of production. His ability to excel in multiple roles on the field was a testament to his adaptability and skill. Now, thanks somewhat to an improbable course, Tuffy became a second-round pick in the first National Football League draft of 1936. Remember, that's where Jay Berwanger was the first such person selected. But in the second round, the selection was based on a tip from Tim Mara's son, Wellington, who was in high school at the time. He saw Tuffy play at GW while vacationing as a high schooler was up in the GW area. And Wellington would later reminisce that if I remembered for nothing else, I'd like to be remembered for discovering Tuffy Leemans, end quote. This is a pretty much a humble statement from the guy still referenced in every NFL football, as the Duke is listed on the football, referring back to Wellington Mara. Wellington took it a step further when, as many draftees from the NFL's first selection process decided not playing professional football in the NFL, in this somewhat fledgling league, for better opportunities, better pay, and other career paths such as business, Mara talked Leemans into signing a deal with the Giants and playing for them. Now, Chicago Trib writer Vincent X. Flaherty also helped get Tuffy from GW into the Chicago All-Star Game in 1936 to give him some added exposure, with some help from hundreds of votes for the player from the Windy City Fish Wrap breeders. It was also a brilliant selection from John Q. Public as a collective name for the average American, as Leemans became the 1936 College All-Star Most Valuable Player in that game, a testament to his growing popularity and influence in the sport. Now, the Duke's football namesake, Wellington Mara, suggestion to his father and the rest of the Giants grasp proved fruitful. Tuffy Leemans' 8-year career with the New York Giants, 1936 through 1943 seasons, was a masterclass in his versatility, earning him a well-deserved spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We'll talk about that in a moment. A single position didn't define Leemans. He excelled at running back, passer, receiver, and even on defense in that single platoon system. This adaptability, coupled with his raw talent, made him a nightmare for opposing teams. Now, Leemans' impact was immediate. Drafted in the second round of the 1936 NFL Draft, he shattered rookie rushing records, leading the league with a staggering 830 yards that year. Not only was he the starting fullback as a rookie, but in the era of single platoon football, he also patrolled the defensive backfield as a safety. He became a fixture on the All-Pro team, earning a distinction twice in 1936 and in 1939, and a surprising passing prowess matched his ability to churn out yards on the ground. Leemans could dissect defenses with his arm, throwing for over 2,300 yards and 25 touchdowns throughout his career. We'll get into more detail on that in just a moment. Leemans' impact on the New York Giants was profound. His two-way dominance, excelling on offense and defense, propelled the team to consistent championship contention. The fact was that he was a fantastic defensive player, and that was very significant. He was one of head coach Steve Owens' favorites and was a big part of why Owens was confident in implementing his own two-platoon system. Not two-platoon like we know it today, but actually two platoons, a A and a B team. The A team would play the first and the third quarters, and a B team would play the second and the fourth quarters. Leemans captained one team, while teammate Ward Cuff headed the alternative squad. What Owens trusted most about both players was their reliability in organizing the defenses properly, something really key at the time, as substitution did not allow for the communication process from the coaching staff that was on the sideline. The unselfish play time may have also indicate why Leemans only led the league in rushing during his rookie season in 1936. That double platoon, only playing 2 quarters out of the 4, sort of reduces your yardage. And as a talented back, only played 30 minutes a game on his big substitution strategy of Owens. His stats would have been much higher had he played regularly. Under his leadership, the Giants thrice reached the NFL title game, securing victory in 1938. And his grit and determination were instrumental in these triumphs, making him a source of pride and inspiration for the team and its fans. To further showcase his uncanny athleticism and versatility, the enterprising young man also played professional basketball when in 1937, during the NFL offseason, he inked a contract with the Hurrick Brewers of Washington, D.C. Now, Tuffy's versatility rose again when the veteran Giants quarterback Ed Donowski retired, and Leemans was switched from running back to quarterback for his final 2 seasons. Tuffy wasn't a prolific passer by any means, but again, it was Owens' trust in Leemans to call the right plays and his leadership qualities that mattered most to the head coach. He was a player coach in his final season in 1943 and a full-time assistant coach in 1944 with the Giants. Now, Leemans' career was tragically cut short by injuries. However, his impact transcended his playing days. He briefly coached the Giants, as we just said, before returning to his alma mater, George Washington University, to coach high school football after that. And then the story of the Giants wasn't over, though, as he came up again as one of the most infamous days in United States history. On December 7th, 1941, the Giants celebrated Tuffy Leemans Day at the ballpark, and the franchise was all set to thank their former star with a gift of a silver tray and $1,500 in defense bonds. The war bonds were key and quite a segue into the precognitive gift for what occurred during the ceremony. The game's radio broadcast was interrupted by an announcement of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor earlier that morning in Hawaii, and the in-stadium announcer was persuaded to call out to the public address system patrons at the Polo Grounds, requesting military personnel to report to their commanding officers immediately. Now, the statement of the attack on Pearl Harbor did not come out at the stadium. It was on the radio waves, and the calling for the military personnel was, and really nobody had a clue why they were called so immediate. Tuffy Leemans' legacy extends beyond the statistics, and he was a true pioneer, demonstrating what a player's value isn't confined to a single position. His enshrinement into the Hall of Fame in Canton in 1978 is a permanent reminder of his all-round brilliance and the indelible mark left on the game. His pioneering spirit continues to inspire players and fans alike, showing that versatility, adaptability, and patience, and being a humble player are crucial to success in football. And that's the legacy that we leave you today of Tuffy Leemans, one of the Giants and the NFL's greatest players. Very unselfish, very talented, and his short career, spans the generations to put him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame some 40 years after his last playing day. It's remarkable. And plenty of his opponents came out and had testimonials that what a great talent he was. You know, I know there's a few Washington Redskins that spoke out, that played against him, that he was one tough cookie and really a hard guy to defend against because of his versatility. So that's our story of Tuffy Leemans. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoy joining us each day. Again, you know, please hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter or X and Facebook. And we have the YouTube channel where we have things going constantly. You can follow us there too, as well as pigskinddispatch.com. Till next time, everybody, have a great gridiron day. That's all the football history we have today, folks. Join us back tomorrow for more of your football history. We invite you to check out our website, pigskinddispatch.com, not only to see the daily football history, but to experience positive football with our many articles on the good people of the game, as well as our own football comic strip, Cleat Marks Comics. Pigskinddispatch.com is also on social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel to get all of your positive football news and history. Special thanks to the talents of Mike and Gene Monroe, as well as Jason Neff for letting us use their music during our podcast.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.